So I'm showing my face to those people who might, you know, want to see my face every once in a while instead of having my dark, secret videos where you don't get to see me. Hi, big kid. I invited Omar in here. Hi, Bughead. Hi. You want a baby? You want a baby, huh? There's nothing exciting in here. There's no, not like in my room, there's nothing that he's probably going to leave. I don't know if he's going to sit with me here or leave, actually. It's bright in here. When I create videos in my mom's room, it's not enough light. And you can't create videos in my room except dark ones because there's too much shit in there. Anyway, so I was sitting here wondering, if there's anyone out there watching my videos, who, there's just one person who's maybe getting an education regarding all this shit that genuinely has been happening with my mom, with, you know what I mean, in the system and the mental hospitals and whatnot. I don't lie, okay? I'm going to give you a new example. So my mom was unfortunately sent back to the same hospital she was in the last time, as in the one that did the same thing the one before did and discharged her too soon. You know, I can't stand the case manager, okay? So the people that send my mom off, they find the beds for my mom, you know, and they've been doing it for years and years, okay? I contacted them and the woman let me vent. And she says, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I know there's nothing you could do. I just want to vent about what happened to my mom this last time. How I was treated badly by this case manager and how they sent my mom home against family's wishes. And Auntie even said, if that's the best you can, left a message, voicemail, if that's the best you can do for my sister, transfer elsewhere. And of course they didn't, blah, 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 blah. I don't like the woman, period. I don't like her. I don't like how she talked to me. I don't like her. Okay, I just don't like her, period. Don't like her. Okay, so my mom was transferred today. I called over to the hospital and said, who can I talk to about making... Oh, I'm sorry. First, I was venting to the people who find my mom a bed. And they, like I said, they've been doing it for years, okay? You always have to go to the regular hospital, you're medically cleared, and then you wait there until they find you a bed, okay? What does it tell you that they found a bed instantly in this same place, huh? Usually my mom has to wait a while at these hospitals, but who knows? That's neither here nor there, okay? I don't like her case manager. I don't like how she talked to me. I don't like how she negated my genuine, legitimate concerns about my mom's clothes being stolen. I don't like that hospital, period. But I don't like any of them, so it really doesn't matter, okay? If we want to be honest, as I told the guy the other night, if I'd rather her be sent here, it's just a lesser of more than two evils. I'd rather her be sent here than that one that discharged her in such a horrible condition that she had to be hospitalized 2 days later, and the one where she suffered the lithium toxin. I just would rather her go here, okay? But it sucks that she has to go here. I wish she could go to some place she's never been before and start from scratch, but it just sucks, okay? It fucking sucks. So, I'm not happy about this. I want it noted for the record. I'm actually going to fax these people over a letter so it's noted for the record about this hospital. But the woman's like, well, what do you want me to do? I can't do anything. I'm like, I know, I just want to vent. But I don't want my mom to have that same case manager again, right? And she goes, oh, don't worry about that. She's like, it's your right. And she was making me feel a little bit better, at least over that one thing. It's your right to tell them you don't want your mom. She even said it's my right to have my mom not even be in that same floor, whatever. Little does she know. I'm so sickened by this whole industry. Seriously sickened. You know, they want to play this game with me. They're only going to hurt my mom. I will not have anything to do with that woman. So if they assign that woman to my mom again, I won't have anything to do with the woman. So they're just hurting my mom in the long run, you know? Or maybe not, because in the end, what does it matter? They don't listen to me. They don't care anyway. Anyway, got pissed off all over again. My mom wasn't there yet, and basically, so I called the hospital. Oh, this woman at this, where they send her the bed, she's like, that's your right, you know, Laura. You can tell them you don't want her assigned to that case manager. So I called and talked to someone, upper management over the hospital. No, she says to me, well, it's up to your mother. Unless the healthcare proxy is invoked, it's up to your mother. She has to tell us she doesn't want the former case manager. Go fuck yourself. You know what? You're going to play that game with me? Seriously. Maybe technically. They played that same game before. I knew my mom's clothes were stolen. They told me, your mom has to request the clothing list. I convinced my mom... I convinced my mom to request the clothing list, but what if I wasn't able to convince her? What if she just didn't care, didn't think it was important? You know what I mean? Same thing. Do you think my mom gives one? Give me that. Give me the toilet paper. Give me that. No. No. Do you get where I'm coming from here? That's just so... For her to have said that to me, it's just, you know what, she's better off. I mean, I could file a complaint against the woman. She's better off just appeasing me, don't you think? Do you think my mom, when she's locked up in these mental hospitals, gives one flying fuck who her case manager is? She doesn't. She doesn't. But to go that stickler and say, well, unless the doctor invokes the healthcare proxy, it's your mother who has to tell us she doesn't want that former case manager. Fine. You want to play that game with me? I won't have anything to do with the woman. So, you know, you're only hurting my mom, or, you know, it just... For her to have said that to me, she pissed me off so badly. But of course, she's like, I don't even know if I can talk to you, if I have a release, or blah, blah, blah. You know, I know, I'm telling you. Do you know who she was? No, you can look it up in the records. Now, you can say, okay, I'm jumping the gun, that maybe there's not that high of a chance that she'll be assigned that same case manager, but it happened at that other hospital. She got the same damn one the next time she was in there, okay? And maybe that was intentional. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is if she gets assigned that same one, it's just ridiculous for this woman. Okay, I don't care if my mom's not technically incompetent. She's sectioned. She doesn't give one flying fuck who her case manager is. It's me that cares. So why don't you appease me, you little bitch? You know? But she didn't. She's like, well, it's up to your mom. Unless the doctor invokes the healthcare proxy, your mom has to tell us she doesn't want that former case manager. Fine, you want to play that game, you fucking bitch? You know? You want to play that game with me? I already am so upset my mom's back in your shithole hospital. So upset. And now you're going to tell me what the other people told me they thought 100%. See how you get things to them? To the woman I spoke with there, she was like, of course it's your right to tell them you don't want your mom to have that same case manager. And they're going to turn around and say it's up to my mother. My locked up in a mental hospital mother. Unless she's declared... It's just sickening, you know? It's sickening. She should have just said to me... She just makes me ill. The whole hospital makes me ill. She should have said to me... yeah, right now I can't talk to you because your mom's not here yet and she doesn't sign a release, but anything. She should have said, we understand you don't want that woman and we won't sign her because they don't have to assign this person. They can find someone else. You understand? Instead, well, it's up to your mom. Your mom, this is the same little bitch who was nice to me and listened to me, but in the end said, well, you know, Laura, because I remembered her. She's like, you know, patients give their clothes away and it's their right to do so. Do you get it? It's their right to do so. How fucking convenient, you little cunt. Okay, you at least listen to me talk, and I was polite to you, and you were polite to me, but how convenient. It's their right to do so, yeah. And she can be crying to me and saying her clothes were stolen, and your staff is going to say that she gave them away, and I have no recourse because I wasn't there, but I believe my mother. See? she said it to me. I remembered her, and I said to her, I'm like, do you remember me? I'm the one who complained that my mom's clothes were stolen. She's like, yeah, I think I remember you, I recall, or something or other, but she can't acknowledge anything because of HIPAA, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, doesn't that prove to you something? She should have been diplomatic and said, you know, if you had a problem with your mom's former case manager, we'll do everything in our power to make sure if your mom comes here, because they can't acknowledge anything until she's there and she's signed a release. I understand that. If she comes here, we'll make sure you get she gets a different case manager. Instead, what does she say to me? The same thing with the clothes. The same thing if I wanted to look at the clothing list. Well, it's your mom that has to request it. You can't request it. And now, it's your mom who has to say she doesn't want that former case manager. You sent my mom home in a condition she shouldn't have been sent home in. Do you really think she gives one flying fuck who her case manager is? She doesn't. She doesn't. Do you think she was calling me every day? I love my case manager, Laura. Of course she wasn't. It wasn't even the one she had originally. That one went on vacation. This one took over. I only got to speak to the other one once in person, and then she was gone, and someone else took over. So even when the other one came back, this one just kept on with my mom's case. I don't like her. How about you appease me instead of infuriate me? But no, it's up to your mom. Unless the doctor invokes the healthcare proxy, it's your mom who has to tell us that she doesn't want that case manager. Fine. You assigned my mother, that fucking bitch, cunt, who sent my mom home despite my aunt calling up and saying that that's the best you could do for my sister, transfer elsewhere, who didn't communicate with me, who didn't return my calls because she didn't like that I complained about her. Again, it's not her fault my mom's clothes were stolen, but I don't like her attitude towards me. This was on a Friday where I was talking to her, and it was only chance because I didn't even want to talk to her. They transferred me to her when I wanted to talk to someone else who wasn't her. And then she's like belittling me or just negating my concerns. Well, you know, calm down. You're going to give yourself a blah, 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 whatever. I have good news for you. We're sending your mom home Monday. And I'm thinking, my mom's not in any condition to come home. I just visited with her. I've talked to her. She's not in any condition to come home. But that's neither here nor there. This is a separate issue. And then you see how she made me feel, patronizing me. And she didn't send my mom on Monday anyway. She didn't wind up sending her home to Friday. I called all week. She didn't even bother to return my calls. And the last time I had visited my mom, okay, was the day that I had complained about the clothes. And the woman was there, but she couldn't talk to me. Because I said, are you going to talk? She's going to talk to me. She's like, call me on the phone. I call her on the phone. She doesn't return my calls. And then suddenly, out of the blue, they're sending my mom home. Again, she didn't bother to tell me ahead of time. I happened to call, and finally she got back to me because or else I reached her or something, whatever. She wasn't returning my calls all week. Since she wasn't returning my calls, I was basically calling her every day and leaving like one message. Yeah, I talked to my mom today. This is how I feel. She did this, she did that, blah, blah, whatever. And in the end, I was shocked they were sending her home. Because remember, they don't have to. They were going to send her home a week before, and they didn't because they decided that my mom shouldn't be sent home, and they got permission from her insurance. Okay, all they have to do is prove that my mom needs to stay there, and the insurance pays for it. Okay. My mom's insurance, she has MedX, it backs up, she lost her Medicare days. Remember, these people dropped the ball because this place who sends her off was wrong that last time. And you guys know I was devastated to find out she had no more Medicare days for psychiatric and would have to just be limited to, very limited, state hospitals or where they might take a few individuals who don't have insurance. And it turned out she had insurance all along, so they dropped the ball big time. Okay, this was the place who sends calls around for beds. They dropped the ball. You guys know this, some of you. You know how upset and devastated I was. I was blindsided by that. And then months later, I find out it's not true because a different employee in that same place that sends her off investigated further and told me, I said, why wasn't she able to, remember the one I wanted her to go to? Well, the person at that place who finds the beds, sorry, Laura, they can't take your mom. She doesn't have insurance. La 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 la. Okay, she lost her, and I didn't understand. This was blindsiding me. La 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 la. Right? Then months later, they're sending her to that same place, and I talked to a different woman. Why are you able to send her to this place now? It turned out it was awful that she was sent there, but you don't expect that. It's a good hospital, and but it's only can be as good as the staff inside of it. So. And she goes, yeah, that was wrong. I apologize. I don't know what happened before. Your mom does have insurance, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, so for months I was devastated thinking, and so was my mom, thinking she has no insurance, that she's used up, our whole family, and they fucked up big time, okay? And we had provided them with her secondary insurance that pays 20% when Medicare pays 80%, but then when she ran out of the days, I had no idea. But can you imagine? I want you guys to put yourself in my place. I had to accept the fact that my mom couldn't go back to where I wanted her to go back. Because remember, I wanted her to go back to that hospital where that doctor had wanted her to not be on more than one antipsychotic, and and it was a decent hospital, and you know what I mean. And in the end, I was told she can't go back there. Why? She doesn't have insurance anymore. And then for months, that's what I believed, and she believed, and Auntie believed, and it wasn't true. And Auntie told me after the fact, she was like, I had told them. I thought she had coverage and whatever, but they didn't investigate further enough, and they were provided the policy number, so that was on them. They dropped the ball big time. This next woman just investigated further. She did a better job, and now they know for good, but I should have never had to go through that shit to begin with and be blindsided like that and think all these things that weren't true. Okay? And now the woman today, to her, was a no-brainer. Of course you can tell them. She said, it's your right, Laura. It's your right to tell them you do not want that case manager handling your mom's case this time. That woman handling, and I get from the upper management today, before my mom's even there, because I wanted to catch it quickly, that's up to your mom. Unless the doctor invokes healthcare proxy, your mom has to tell us she doesn't want that case manager. Go fuck yourself, seriously. So you wonder why I feel like the whole system has just failed my mother, and consequently failed anyone who loves her, and it's just sick. That's going too far regarding rights or HIPAA or whatever, okay? Yeah, my mom stays in these hospitals. She's not declared incompetent, okay? She's not committed, not declared incompetent or whatnot, but I'm her only hope. I'm her healthcare proxy, her advocate, her emergency contact. Why do you want to alienate me and assign to her case the woman I can't stand? I mean, it's just a no-brainer to me. And I'm sure it's a no-brainer to the woman I spoke with at the place that finds my mom a bed when she's in the regular hospital, a mental hospital bed, okay? It was a no-brainer to her. That's your right, Laura. You can tell them you don't want your mom to have that case manager. Yeah, little do you know. According to her, it's only if my mom and the healthcare proxy is invoked. It's up to my mom. My mom has to say. Like, my mom gives one flying fuck who her case manager is ever in these places. She doesn't want to be in there, understandably, Makes me so angry, people. It's just petty, What this woman should have said, if she was smart, okay, because she's got someone angry at her hospital at what happened. I gave briefly, they discharged my mom to whatever, okay? I don't want to deal with this woman again, ever again. She should have said, as soon as your mom gets here, Laura, we will make sure that she's not assigned to that woman. Instead, she's like, well, it's up to your mom. Just fueling the fire in me, making me angrier, It doesn't matter if it's technically up to my mom. My mom is still locked up in a mental hospital. She might not be declared incompetent, so to speak, because they do that when they commit you or something, when you're sectioned, but you know what I mean? You should just appease me. It's not like you have to assign that same woman to my mom's case. You can assign someone else. I'm angry. You should just appease me. Instead, she didn't. She gave me her little bullshit. Well, it's up to your mom. Your mom will have to tell us she doesn't want so-and-so as her case manager. Fuck you. Unless the doctor invokes the healthcare proxy, it's up to your mom. She has to tell us. Be kidding me. You want to play that game, you little bitch? I'm already upset. My mom's back in your hospital. I'm already upset how conveniently you were able to negate the whole thing with the clothes situation. You're not going to listen to my mom, and I go to bat for her and advocate for her, and you conveniently say, oh, well, patients do give their clothes away, and that's their right. fuck you. Ooh. I hope at least some of you get where I'm coming from, because you have to read between the lines here, okay? My mom's crying to me that her clothes were stolen. They're not going to listen to her. And I talked to upper management, and I'm told, you know, patients give their clothes away all the time, Laura. It's their right to do it, you know. It's their right. She sat there and said that to me. It's their right to do that. And I'm just thinking, this was when I didn't know how much of my mom's clothes were missing, remember? She called down, was blah, blah, blah's clothes? Oh, she was missing 1 or 2 things. It turned out she was missing more than 1 or 2 things, okay? It was more like 5 or more things. It was, but the major thing were her jeans, that she was crying her eyes out to me, and I know they dropped the ball. Oh, and this woman also said to me, you know, this is a unit for older people. They don't really steal. Yeah. Your staff stole my fucking mom's, I didn't tell her this, but the staff stole my mom's teddy bear. Remember I told you I brought her a whole bunch of clothes to the regular hospital and made sure I brought her the teddy bear she wanted, and I put it on the bottom of the bag. And when I first visited her, what's going on with her teddy bear? And she didn't have, oh, also, these idiots, they lock up her shoes because she doesn't want, you know what I mean? This time we don't have to worry about that because she doesn't wear her laces anymore. She'll have sneakers without laces and they won't take them away. There's no reason to, but last time when I got there, why is my mom not wearing shoes? And we find they locked up her shoes, okay, and listened to her when she said, I don't want you to take my lacings out. Why are you going to listen to a mentally ill person? She would rather have you would take her lacings out than to be walking around in stocking feet and have someone step on her feet and hurt her, you know? But anyway, where's my mom's teddy bear? There was no teddy bear here, right? A week or so later, I don't know, a couple weeks later, my mom told me that she saw that teddy bear, and it's a distinctive teddy bear, okay? I just want you, I can't give you specifics, it's a distinctive teddy bear that we recognize as my mom's teddy bear, okay? And a display case where the staff nursing station is. And my mom goes, yeah, I saw my bear, Laura, and I grabbed it and I hid it in my room. Good for you, Mom. But what does that tell you? The staff who checked her in saw that bear and liked it, and someone took it and figured a mentally ill person is not going to know any better. But my mom did know better, see? She knew her bear was missing. You get it? So don't tell me that my mom's clothes couldn't have possibly been stolen when you moved her room, left behind one of her bags, and then, you know, it's just, I'm so angry she's back in there. But no matter where she was sent, if it wasn't a new to me place, new to her place, I'd be pissed, see? So... that's the problem. I want you to imagine how I feel. Mama's in the same hospital that she was just discharged from like 6 weeks ago. Discharged too soon. Discharged, it says on the discharge papers, patient wanted to leave. They don't care what the family has to say, didn't care what Auntie had to say, didn't consult with me about discharging my mom. It doesn't matter. So in the end, go ahead. Give her, you want to play this game and assign that bitch to my mom again, I won't talk to her. So, I'm sure that'll make you guys happier anyway, because you don't listen to me and I tell you everything the other hospital did, you turn around and do the same damn thing. You know? The woman couldn't stand when I asked about my mom's meds. She didn't return my call. You know what I mean? In the end, she was returning my calls up until I had the nerve to make waves about my mom's clothes being stolen, you know? Now my friend told me my mom wants things, wants clothes, why? So they can be stolen again. You know, but whatever. Last time I saw my mom, she was crying her eyes out, saying that I took her life from her, that she doesn't love me. Why did you do this to me? So my mom's going to have to call me herself and ask me to bring her clothes. Okay? And if she doesn't, then she's not going to get the clothes. She spent almost a whole month in that other hospital with just clothes on her back, and she did just fine. In the end, she came home without a bra, I told you. It's just sick. It's so sick what happens to them in these places. And as you guys know, I know they don't listen to the patients, but when I advocated for my mom, that she's telling me her clothes were stolen, did I ever imagine in a million years I'd be told, well, you know, Laura, patients give their clothes away all the time, and it's their right. You know, someone says, oh, I like that shirt, can I have it? Oh, that's so convenient. That means even if I put my mom's name in her clothes, if they get stolen and she tells me and cries to me, all you have to say is she gave them away, you fucking assholes. Unreal. I am so upset she's back in this hospital, but I'd be upset if she was back in any of the hospitals she's been in over the past year. Okay, I wanted her to go somewhere new. Unfortunately, the system doesn't work like that. You can make suggestions or whatnot, but you can't. I'd already said 3 different hospitals that you demo, better not send her to, you know. And remember, there could be different hospitals in the same, that's run by the same company, you know. So maybe I want my mom to go to a certain hospital in a different city, and they have a hospital that I don't want her to go to, but that's what they choose if they're called, see? So it's just fucked. And also, mental hospitals are very filled up, and you can't stay in the regular hospital forever, and they're looking for a bed for you, and they're supposed to just have you they're supposed to take the first available bed, and I'm telling you all this while I'm just like, fuck, she's back in that place, fuck, you know? Fuck, she's back in a mental hospital at all, and then she's back in that same place that failed her family, you know, it just, oh, it sucks so bad, people. You ate, shut up. Shut up, you ate. You ate. You ate. Oh, when I walked over today, I visited the neighbor that's a longtime friends with her long before I ever was here, you know. Remember, my mom lived here a long time, many years. And, she's so nice, and she let me bring Omar in. She had treats because I guess she has another friend who brings a dog over there. And I said, I have sad news for you about my mom. And this woman's, you know, she's a senior just like my mom, and she's had a lot of heartbreak in her family. You know, once you reach that, you've had people that die on you, you've had whatever, and she's had a lot of heartbreak. And so I had to tell her another sorry. You know, my mom's back in the fucking mental hospital, and or being sent. At that point, they hadn't called me yet, but she's going back in another mental hospital. And I told her everything that happened, and that I didn't have a choice. The way my mom was behaving, I had to call 911, and it turned out she did have something wrong. 2 things. Physically, the physical was the UTI, but also she wasn't taking her meds, which maybe was because of the UTI causing confusion. Oh, whatnot, who knows? But the fact is, and this is what I've been telling people, if my mom had gone, I didn't call Psych 911. Okay, I called medical 911 just the same as when she had the lithium toxicity. Medical 911 was called, not psych, okay? So, if my mom had cooperated, if she had not refused to take her meds, if she was eating, drinking, not ripping IVs out of her arm and eating toilet paper in the bathroom and wandering around into other people's rooms at night and basically being uncooperative and refusing to have that brain MRI, which I wanted her to have, and et cetera, do you think if she had been told, they wouldn't have sectioned her, you understand? She wasn't in there for psych reasons, they wouldn't have sectioned her. So she brought it upon herself, people, you know, with her behavior. And my friend can sit there and say, well, I talked to her and she seemed okay. Well, you're not seeing her in person like I did yesterday, and I had the nurse the day before on the phone saying she didn't think my mom would ever be home again. So, based on what she was seeing, my mom's behavior, okay? So, I don't dare hope for anything. I do not dare hope for anything. Remember, my mom hasn't been taking her meds, so as soon as this hospital gets their clutches on her and starts dragging her up to high heaven, it'll probably be a different story. Because whoever my mom's friend was talking to, the mom they were talking to, or whatever, was not who I was talking to just yesterday. So, that woman was in just total, you did this to me. I was a living, breathing being. You took my life away, Laura. You took my life away. I don't love you, Laura. Crying her eyes out, okay? And then I said, Mom, you had a UTI and you were not taking your meds. There was nothing wrong with me and I was taking my meds. Total denial. So, she's going to be in there for a while, and she is going to blame me. So I'm not going to go visit her. I'm just going to see me. And whatever clothes she wants, she doesn't actually need them immediately. Remember, she was basically, I'm not going to jump. After what I experienced yesterday, it was agony, okay? You think it's not going to be the same thing if I go visit her in the mental hospital? You think she's going to suddenly be joyful and loving towards me? I'm not going to jump to go. I'm not going tomorrow. I'm not going to jump because she doesn't really need anything. She went without nothing. She didn't have anything in that other hospital. And basically it was because I couldn't get there, and Auntie didn't bother going, and church friend didn't bother going, and, no one seemed to care that my mom only had the clothes on her back and whatever, but she survived. You're not in a friggin' resort, you're in a mental hospital. So the last time I brought her so much stuff, I wanted her to be happy. I brought her a Betty Bear. This was the summer. Remember, I brought all kinds of cute clothes, whatever, and in the end, her clothes get stolen. And, it's just like, what the fuck? Even the bear got stolen by staff, not by patients. It was stolen immediately. And then she got it back, but in the end, she didn't come home with it, so don't get that one. I believe her that she got it back, though, but I don't know what happened. Who knows what happens behind those walls? I just know I'm not talking to that fucking cunt from the last time. So, let's hope the friggin' hospital does the right thing. I don't care if it technically is up to my mom. You do the right fucking thing and appease me when I'm her healthcare proxy and I'm her advocate and I'm her emergency contact, and I don't want anything to do with the case manager you assigned to her last time, the woman that you assigned to her last time as her case manager. You're better off appeasing me regardless of whether or not it's technically supposed to be up to my mom who doesn't give a shit anyway. Ugh. I returned that coat today to Macy's, and I returned one of those vest jackets because the zipper was all fucked up. My mom doesn't care about these jackets. I don't even know what's going to happen one day or the next with my mom, and she wasn't even going to wear these jackets for months and months and months. So in the end, if she's upset one jacket's missing, so what? We have two. We kept two, and one's missing because it had a defective zipper, and why keep it under those circumstances? I returned it. Who cares? She's locked up in a mental hospital. I returned the damn jacket. I also returned my wool coat, and unfortunately, I forgot that I'd stuck the receipt in the pocket, and I didn't know what happened to the receipt, and one guy, he had taken everything out and brought me to another register, and then it was all a big mix-up with the receipt. And then I didn't have the tags, and the manager said, don't worry, if you don't have the tags, we can just get it off the... Well, it turned out that the exact code, exact size, everything I was dealing with a different manager, should have had the same damn code, right? It should have had the same code as my code, and it didn't. It did not. So we couldn't find the receipt, and I was just enraged. We could not find the receipt, but it was done on my credit card, and we should have been able to look it up by the credit card, right? You'd think. It wasn't coming up by the credit card. I guess the manager did something about, got a different code, and it was the 2 digits off the UPC, blah, 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 whatever, and my credit card wasn't coming up in the system. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is ridiculous. And they wanted to give me a lot cheaper for the code. It turned out the receipt was in the pocket, because I was getting upset. I knew I hadn't lost that receipt. I knew it was in the bag when I left. Well, I'd forgotten that I put it in the pocket of the vest, okay? But even if that wasn't the case, you always think you can look up your receipt by your credit card. It's how it's supposed to be. And they weren't able to do it. You get it? It doesn't make sense. I don't know why they couldn't just punch in my credit card. Whatever they were trying to do. The vest I had tags, so that just came up automatically. Maybe she didn't know what she was doing, but I know she's a long-time manager there, but it didn't even make sense because why don't you just look up my receipt by my credit card itself? Basically, she got another code off the shelf and was looking it up. It was 2 digits off on the UPC. I don't know what she was trying to do, to tell you the truth. In the end, I was real upset because it's bad enough I didn't have the tags. I couldn't find them. But I damn well was not going without a receipt, too, you know? I was all upset. She's like, well, do you remember what we paid for the code? I'm like, that's not the point. That is not the point, because, you know, they want to appease their customers. I'm not trying to get away with anything. That's not the point. I know that, and I got all upset, and in the end, I was wrong, and I apologized. You know, I have no problem apologizing. I was like, I'm sorry. I did say to you, I'm like, I'm sorry, bad day, my mom's in the hospital, and I'm sorry. I apologize because I was getting all upset with her, and it turns out I'd forgotten that I put the receipt in the vest pocket, you know, so. But I still had a right to be upset because whether or not I had the receipt, they're supposed to be able to get my receipt via credit cards. I've done that with other stores. They're supposed to look it up by the credit card, I thought, and she was trying to look it up by the UPC of a different extra large code. I don't know what she was trying to do, because she was saying that it's not finding it in the system. Because I said, can you print out my receipt? And she said, no, we can't do that. And then I'm like, all right, well, you can at least find it. And then she wasn't finding it, but I don't think she had the ability to look it up by the credit card. She basically got another code off the shelf, and it didn't have the same. It was an extra large, the wool code, the same thing, but it was off by 2 digits. So I don't know what she was trying to do. Unless maybe she was looking it up by the code and then finding whatever, because probably you don't sell a lot of a certain code, and then maybe she knew the date from from the other thing I was returning that did have the tags? I don't know, really. Because I would think if you're looking up a customer, you look it up with a credit card, but I don't know how they do that. I really don't know. I know in the end I was wrong because I was getting upset. And it turned out that I'd forgotten I'd put the receipt in the pocket to keep it safe. But I was right. I'm like, the receipt didn't walk away. I thought I'd left it in the bottom of the bag, but still, there's no hole in the bag. It's this big giant bag holding a big winter coat, and you know what I mean? There's no way anything happened to it. Yeah, I'd put it in the pocket to keep it safe, you know. Just like I put the tags somewhere, hid them somewhere, remember, to keep them safe, and have no idea what I did with them. So, you know, it worked out okay. It almost didn't, but, you know. Oh, maybe if I turn on the news, they'll have more news on that woman, mother of 4, who attended a party in Lowell, Massachusetts with her Down syndrome son, and in the end he had to comfort his dying mother. There was some kind of altercation inside the party. The people were asked to leave. Now, think about it. It's a party. They must know everyone. That's why they were later saying these women that they know who's involved, yet the police aren't arresting anybody. They can't find them, or people aren't talking, or I don't know. But they were all asked to leave the party. And in the end, this woman's beaten to death. That's all I knew from the morning. Let's see if there's any new news on that, you know. But yeah, can you imagine? I'm already upset that my mom's back at this fucking hospital, and the upper management that I talked to before my mom was even there, because I wanted to catch this person fast, you know, because I don't know how fast they assign my mom a case manager. She should have just been diplomatic. She should have just said, oh yeah, I understand you weren't happy with the case manager, you know, we'll do our very best to make sure your mom's not assigned that person again since you don't like her. No, instead it's like, it's up to your mom. Unless the doctor invokes the healthcare proxy, then your mom has to tell us she doesn't want that perp to... Fuck you. Oh, telling me the complete opposite of what the person who sent my mom to these hospitals, you know, finds beds, was like, of course it's your right. She said, to her it was a no-brainer. It's my right. And this person is going to be such a stickler about, well, if your mom's not declared, it's technically her. Oh, my God. She's still locked up in a mental hospital. She's still sectioned. Even if she's not technically declared incompetent, you know, people, it's a small matter. If I don't like the woman who handled my mom's case last time, if I'm furious that she discharged her at the patient's request as it said on the discharge papers, and look what fucking happened. My mom hasn't been right since she was discharged, as I was desperately trying to keep her from winding up in any hospital again, let alone yours. Just appease me, for Christ's sake. You know? Ugh!